This is African Real Insights Podcast, where we talk about the process and business behind film and TV content production, hosted by Uncle Marcus.
What's up, family? I go by the groovy Uncle Marcus, and you know I'm the man and I'm your man. This is 2026, and today we normally talk about cinematography, the glamour of directing, the glamour of set. Today we're gonna go behind the scenes, post-productions, guys. We're gonna see the process. We're gonna talk to someone who's been in this game for a while, worked with a couple of brands, strategies, and without further ado, I'm gonna introduce and give him the chance to introduce himself. Rodney has been in the game trying to put you guys on storytelling on a different level, animation, the rhythm, the pacing, and he's also a cinematographer. He's won an award recently. Seated on my right side, man like Rodney. What's up, bro? Say hi to the people kwanza, wasalimie, waambiwe nani na what have you been up to, man? Introduce.
Hi everyone, my name is Rodney Angati of Videographer, but industry-wise, utaskia Rodney Maddox, that's the name I go with.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, in my different socials. I'm a creative, and creative that I mean that I came into the industry, an accidental video editor who turned into a videographer, turned into a jack of all. So anything that has to do with thinking, anything that has to do with story, with creativity, I think that's my cup of tea. Yeah.
Okay, so Rodney, let's just get down to it. 2026, guys, I'm not giving you 40 minutes or an hour. We're going to be cutting it, chopping it down. Let's do 20 minutes with Rodney. Rodney, let's just get down with it. When I met you, this was at kenyas.co.ke. You're the former lead of post-production, right?
Yeah.
What's your strategy? This is a big brand. How was it for you working there, and what's your strategy as a post-production lead? What's your process?
So I was in kenyas.co.ke, which is also Boxcraft for in a different way. So I was there as the post-production lead. I was handling stories. I was the guy when everything has been shot after production. I was the guy making sure our clients
quality control.
QC, QA, anything that we had shot, anything that we had brainstormed in the pre-production. I was the guy making sure that we have the creative shots, we have the money shots, we have everything that makes the whole video worth watching, and also something that probably will live in people's mind or probably will evoke some emotion to some extent.
Exactly.
Not just a social media.
Not just clips. Well, yes. What was your? Because what's the difference from just cutting clips and assembling them together to being able to run a strategic campaign like you guys did with it's Silic, or was it KQ also? So how do you run a campaign like that? What's your strategic approach?
I'll probably say, I think more, let me dwell it on a more individual level.
Yes, please.
Now, like the Rodney Maddox and how he runs things. We worked with a lot of clients, and there's a lot of things we tulijaribu kufanya when it comes to shaping on how the corporate content is being done, and that's something it's something that I've been thinking about for quite a long time when it comes to how can we be able to move this boring content to something that's worth watching, something that probably people will feel like it's not even actually based on a brand. A good example of people who in the past kind of did this is Safaricom. How can we make like some creative content? Okay, there's a past history, the lead post-production, it's more of a mambo ya juicy, but there's a past history to how all of this came up to be. Because I started off as just a basic video editor. And there are many crazy spec ads that I found myself doing. And I landed in kenyas.co.ke. That was just in 2023. And from there now, I was immersed into the whole corporate industry, and there was a lot of things that probably I was able to shape when it comes to, now that you're talking about the campaign, when it comes to, let me go to the nitty-gritty, something like the music selection.
Please do, yeah.
How many times have you heard easy songs, the boring songs when it comes to corporate music,
Upbeat.
corporate content? Yeah.
It's monotonous.
So that's among the first things that I came to change when it comes to making content from corporations, making such content to be more of a
rememberable.
Yes. So when it comes to the people who are viewing this stuff, so we introduced even things to do with creative shots. We introduced things to do with different ways on how B-rolls are taken. Yeah, these small nitty-gritty things that really make or break post-production. But now, if you don't talk about it in pre-production, that's why I encourage a lot of video editors. I encourage them to not stay in the office when people, or to not stay in the editing suite when people are talking about a campaign, when people are talking about an idea. I encourage them to move to the other side. Yeah, you can skip production, that we can allow. But when it comes to the whole thing, I'll probably say pre-production is something video editors or aspiring video editors need to participate in.
Pre-production is very crucial for editors also. I think that's our tip number one.
Yeah.
Straight up from Rodney's mouth. Most editors think that work begins on post. They don't want to come on location.
Yeah.
And even pre-production, they're like, mnitumie footage. And that's what the problem is. So guys, for today, our tip number one, by the way, behind the cameras, we have Takeover Media, just taking care of us. I hope I'm a role. Patoto me role hizi camera zote. I hope. I appreciate you so much for making time. Our next episode is also going to be coming sooner. After Rodney, we're going to be having Takeover. We're going to be having the Lens Nairobi. We are at the beautiful space. As you can see, this is Jahazi Building, CC Hub. And Rodney, before I jump to the next question, animation. That's something that's very crucial, and as editors, we feel editing is just cutting clips together, putting in and pasting it. What were you considering, and what were your thoughts process? How are you handling animations? Because you've worked with animations and graphics design. Is this something that every editor should have? Is it a necessity? Is this something you should plan to invest in for yourself? What's your take on animation design, and how has it helped you add business or get more businesses from your experience?
When it comes to animation per se, but I was really into motion design. Yeah. But I was also into animation for.
Kindly expound, guys.
Yeah.
There's someone watching. Motion design and animation. What's the difference?
Motion design. When you talk of animation houses all of these things. Animation is generally. I would probably say the whole family of 2D, 3D graphics, which are now more into, which are moving from static, but now you're in a way on how you can be able to manipulate them to do specific things.
Giving life, animation, everything has life. Yes.
So I started off, this was way back in 2019, 2018. I started off in animation, like doing things in Maya, Blender, Maya, Blender.
Yeah.
Then when I discovered motion design, because I think something that was big into me, I think I loved typography. And so there's a typography, how you play with text and all that.
Yeah.
Then that's when I discovered I can be able to use the same principles, because actually motion design it's part of the same family tree of animation. I can be able to use the same principles in motion design. And it's so easy to blend, because I was also into videography, because I started my YouTube account in 2016. Yeah, before it transitioned to become a different thing, a real estate.
What
channel.
is it doing now? It's you're making real estate videos.
Yeah,
you're selling houses.
Real estate shows. Yeah. So that was the other venture that I also went into.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. But when we talk about motion design,
yes.
Motion design, I think one of the things that helped me to become I'll call myself one of the best corporate video editors in Nairobi, Kenya.
Facts.
Is the knowledge I had when it comes to how the principles I was using in motion. Motion, you cannot be able to just cut things or just merge things. There's a whole thought process that you need to have. And one of the things I saw when it came to entry level motion designers is within 2-3 hours into the whole session of probably creating these graphics, the head will fry up. Na nilikuwa naona huruma, and because
it's tedious. Yeah. Why would you say that? It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a game of thinking, because it's not a game of you can't do like guesswork can be easily noticeable when it comes to motion design, because there's a lot of things that you have to think of. You have to think of, okay, how is this scene going to match with the next scene? And when you think about it, these are the same principles we are using when it comes to sequences, when it comes to edits. The whole thing about
blocking on location, also.
Exactly.
Where is it going to start? How is it going to end?
Yeah, the thing about the eye line, because for me, when it comes to even frames, because all of this we're just juggling with, we're just playing with frames. It's more of evoking emotions into a cut. But what you find in today's edits, I'll probably say our Kenyan-based content, is because that's what I've been seeing. You find that it's people just cut for the sake of cutting. So there isn't that passion when it comes to our post-production, and it's really something that has been bothering me for quite a long time. A lot of our work is being exported to different countries. That is South Africa, Indonesia, and now India. And when you think about it, you'll probably realize we've been reduced to the executioners. So there isn't that much when it comes to people putting their soul and
into
heart
the craft.
Into the craft. It's
I've
more
heard
of,
that
let me
before.
chop this
and get it out there.
Yeah.
But there's also that saying of you better put out, you'd rather have some content out there than no content at all. Yeah. We also have that space where as creative, you always think like, is it the best? Is it really? I think that, like for you, how do you, before you put content out there, what's your process? Are you harsh on yourself that way also, or do you just put out content?
Oh, I think for that, let me answer that with the story about Draft One. I have a thing when back in Kenya, when I used to walk around the space and making sure like each and every editor has done the things that they need to do. So there's a thing about Draft One, and something I used to ilkwinani washa when it comes to me seeing somebody exporting a Draft One and sending it to me. I have a rule when it comes to Draft One. Draft One is there to exist. Draft One, the whole point about Draft One, it's I call it the zero draft. It's where you just need to chop up things and have it there. So when you post Draft One, you're making the audience, you're forcing them to think on your idea whilst it's your work. Because when you look at it, Draft 2, 3, that's where the magic happens.
Yes, true. That's when it gets better.
Yeah. So if you're releasing a Draft One, I'll probably say I think you're not yet to a point where you're committed to your craft. There is an aspect of discipline that probably you need to do a self-introspection and work on it. Like, this is coming from a deep place because, I've seen it with a lot of our content. And if you want to play in the leagues of other countries, we are part of the big, actually we are leading when it comes to the giants in Africa. But you see, when it comes to the film industry, and when I talk of film, even down to the videos, we're looking at Nigeria, we're looking at South Africa.
True.
These guys, they have a lot of content when it comes to Netflix.
Impactful.
But ours, we can be able to count those.
I won't argue. I want to bring you back to news. Did you used to do news as a lead editor for Post? It was news reels also part of what was your day-to-day?
When it comes to news, not really.
The 60-second reels.
Yeah, one or two occasions we found ourselves doing news, and it also, like, the thing about any video, it has to have a storyline. And now for us, I was taking the people on I think level 2, where the story has a soul. So how can we be able to tap into the soul of the story? There's something we used to call the arc of tension. Probably a lot of people know it.
The arc of tension.
Yeah, the arc of tension, where you draw something like a hill. And at the
Act
start,
1, Act 2.
Exactly. So I had like my own way on how I used to do it, where we have the setup, we are rising to the climax, where we are introducing the problem, we are in the climax, now we are in the solution. Yeah. And when you look at the best content out here, you'll find that they are using these things. And sometimes you can break the rules and be able to manipulate things. And this came with the introduction of hooks, so as to
get the client
push the
audience.
Audience retention when it comes to videos. So people are breaking the rules in very clever, thoughtful ways on how they can make a content. Because we were talking about news. you're making a content worth having the replay effect. That's a thing. That's a term I probably just created, because if I can watch, if your video is 30 seconds,
It's
and
interest.
I can only, yeah,
you
and I
must
can
be the
only
interest there.
play till 7 seconds, you've failed as an editor. Yeah, I need to watch it probably like 80 seconds. You've had comments of people saying, why is this video 7 hours long? Or why, I don't know why is someone cutting onions? That means that the people who are watching this video, they've forgotten they're even watching a video, and they're experiencing a moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like how you've kept trying to get the anatomy of an editor for a reel in terms of news, and you've hit it fast. Let me just see, when you said first, the story has to be part of it. You must be able to retain the attention also.
Yeah.
So you must be, and then if it's 60 seconds, like they have to repeat. So hook them.
Yes.
So before, like even that's marketing, Loki. You must have what's the bait? What are you hooking them first before they come watch the actual thing? That's why you also do promos. If I'm not wrong. So
yeah, even I can probably share something around that. In our industry and with the various post-production experts I've been able to come across, there's one thing you will note when it comes to professional guys, and you'll note when it comes to amateur entry-level guys.
Yeah.
And probably it's a thing we can probably share, and for them to just
improve, upscale, work on.
So there's something about you just getting a video and and you're editing in your own style. Here's a hard drive. Ushachukua umeanza kukata. There is no research you've done around it. And that's why we're pushing these guys, the post-production guys, going to the pre-production. And also, if you're not in a chance, because we are living in a cloud-based now system where
everything is in the cloud.
You're working remote. And you just I'll just drop things in your email. So it's more of do an audience research when it comes to the insights, the history of whatever you're working on. What do these people that you expect to view your video, what do they consume? What music do they like? And it will give you a whole different perspective on how you're even churning out your creativity when it comes to these forms. That's why you will find that people love Gaux, and he has a different way of editing, probably just still shots. And people love other people like Andres Helm, where things are just moving. It's constant commotion, there's impact, they're breaking rules like the 3-second frame rule, they're having 1 second per shot.
Clips, yeah.
But when you think about the specific audience they're targeting, it influences how they're thinking through their edit at the end of the day. And also when it comes to the QC, you find a lot of people with errors in the edit. Going back to, those are the draft one gang. And there's a lot on how you can be able to work on your QA, QC, that's quality control, and making sure that you're producing the best of the best. Definitely, like you said, sometimes you just need to churn out content. But even Leonardo da Vinci said art is
it takes time.
Yeah, no, he said
I don't
something
remember the exact
about
words. Yeah.
art is not finished, art is abandoned. And I was like, probably if this guy we revive him, he will come back to finish the Mona Lisa. That we keep on taking pictures of. Yeah.
That's amazing. I like that quote. Art is not finished, art is abandoned. That's really nice, Rodney. Let's talk problems. As editors, one big problem we face is the re-edit. You've said draft one. So how do you go about edits and delivering to your clients? Have you ever give us a scenario where you were dealing with a client and they said, do this again, and what did you do? How did you handle that scenario?
When it comes to that's a point of frustration when it comes to a lot of creatives out here, and I've been there. The thing is, I've been in the trenches before I moved into leadership and managerial positions. I was in the trenches with the guys, so I can understand where they're coming from.
That's true.
Yeah. So one of the guardrails that I had is when you're working solo, I'll probably provide two specific options. When you're working solo and you're working on a production, on your own production, your own company, one of the guardrails we had is limiting the number of drafts. This has to do with like 4 drafts. because you have the draft 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. By the time we cross at 4, they start paying for each and every change. Because here's the thing. Creativity, everyone will have their take. Someone will probably prefers a different music, somebody will prefer a different shot and all that.
True.
So you can limit the number of revisions you're taking. On this other side, where probably you don't have the leeway to do that, there are rules or there are things that can help you. This has to do with the script. This has to do with the short list. This has to do with the whole idea and also how you're presenting it. But also if that's also a challenge, because some of the things, people like me had a challenge when it comes to now the content being seen out there. There's something we need to learn from Zack Snyder and why he released the Snyder's Cut. It's more like, you know what, if the client wants this in this way, just have it their way. Sometimes these things are way more than you can comprehend. You just have it that way and give them. But come back to do a director's cut. That's something I've been able to. When you look at my portfolio and you look at the different videos I've submitted to clients, you can notice some 1 or 2 creative differences because probably we had to compromise because we were presenting to a board member, we were presenting to investors. So have your own cut that now you can feel proud of. And also if it's really going to let me give an example of probably a very closed-end client who really doesn't want their content to be out there. There's a way on how you can present it to them, because camera people, videography, like production people are the best people when it comes to networking. So I know there's a way on how you can be able to present it in a way that you can recommend for them to allow you to use that as your portfolio, because initially when you're thinking of the project, this was what you had in mind. And it has worked for me in probably 90% of the time.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's splendid, by the way. The client, it's not saying the client is always right, but deliver the expectations.
Yes.
And I like how you don't like being called a cinematographer, but you're always planning. You're always, during pre-production, you're involved, and also in post, you're involved. So that's like all-rounded. That's deserving to be called a cinematographer.
Thank you.
On that note, as I speak, you've won an award. I was checking out your LinkedIn, and I saw something about cinematographer documentary. Could you speak live and just tell the audience what was that award for, and how did you get it?
This was so I'm the newest award-winning DOP in town. We won an award for the best purpose-driven campaign for an organization that helps when it comes to cases in court of police injustices. And this also happened to be one of the best, our timelines happened to be one of the best timelines, because it was just after the Gen Z protests. So even when it came to the launch,
wakafaulu kutoa Johnson hapo, wakaenda naye hadi nje.
Tell your friends to come out.
So wakati tulijificha, venye hii boti ilikuja mara ya pili, ikafika tukaona tena ndio imefika, tukasema tuzame. Sasa tulizama hivi, ikakuja ikasimama katikati yetu na Wanyoike. Hapo ndio Wanyoike ni kama hewa yake ilimuishia mbele yangu. Sasa venye tu alitoa kichwa hivi, akachapo risasi.
We had guests like CJ Maraga, or is it Maraga? Yeah, we had guests like CJ Maraga who came and we talked about it, we watched it, and guys who are activists were in the space. It was a documentary that was shot in that I shot in as the DOP together with my team,
Yes.
the director Ian Canoe, and all the other people who were able to make it happen. So it's a story about 3 guys who one of them was killed in Lake Naivasha by cops. Who accused them of stealing, of which they were just fishing. So you can probably head over to the IJM website and you can be able to check out the documentary.
Probably download it and put a snippet down here, guys. Don't worry. But congratulations on that win. I felt like what was for you, it was the story that really sold the piece to the judges, right? In terms of execution for you, was there something different you went for? And then how do you work with the directors? You just mentioned the end right now. How do you work to get this rapport or type of, to make sure the director's vision sticks? How do you work with them? Editors also.
Yeah, there was a lot of pre-production meetings that happened that I will say on a client perspective, on a team perspective, because we really take the whole creation of the story in paper with seriousness. Yeah, we had to draw the scenes, we had to go on set reviews, and because some of the scenes we had to be in the water. Yeah, we had to be like on the water, and this is a hippo-infested lake. And actually, at around 6-7, we were seeing the hippos, and our actors were also in the hippos. And these things can be able to
one bite half you into pieces.
So it took a lot of preparation. We had to go above and beyond when it comes to that. I think the thing about, you can just remind me about the question?
So how do you work with directors to ensure the vision sticks? So I think by saying, I take your latter answer by saying sticking with pre-production and lots of meeting on pre really helps you to get the production aspect of it. And you still edited? Are you still the person who edited the piece?
Because I was the lead post-production, I kind of took a back seat. So every shot that went into that documentary was approved by me, and also I was together with the director.
Okay.
I think it was more of a 70-30
effort together.
Yes.
Okay. Rodney, this question is for everyone who's looking, let's say the next generation. So for the next generation of editors and animators in Kenya, what's that one skill or mindset they need to have that is not software?
That's not software.
Yeah, Sistoria, Da Vinci. What's that one thing we are missing as editors in Kenya? Tushonga venye tuna vitu zina miss. That's why labor and work is going to say India. But what's that one thing if we tweak with the most of the editors you've worked with also? What's that one thing you teach them that makes them better?
It's a common one, and people who know me know that I keep on saying it. It's finesse.
I've had that before.
Yeah, so so finesse, I think it's one thing that we are missing as an industry in Kenya, where we are just okay with the average. And I understand that sometimes we have to go above and beyond when it comes to producing the projects that we have. Sometimes it breaks us into ways that we cannot even be able to talk about. But for me to reach where I was, and for me to even be pushed to now move out of the editing suit, I was one of the guys who would stay in the office and make sure the edit that I was working on is finessed to the point of my satisfaction. I know it will not be the best. I cannot be matched with an Oscar, with an award-winning editor in Hollywood. But to my level of best, to my satisfaction, I'll probably say I gave it my all. So finesse and the sacrifice. Because at the end of the day, I keep on telling a lot of the people we have in the industry, once that video is out, once it has been published, coming from somebody who I saw my film in Sarit in cinema, once it has been published or it has reached to a certain audience or a certain event like that, it's done. You're going to live with it for the rest of your life. So it's you to decide, will it be more of the positive side, or will it be more of the negative side, you thinking about the whole different things that you had done better, the color grade that you ignored, the SFX that you skipped. Yeah.
It's gonna be seen now. You can't even hide.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is this Sarit Big Cinema film was the award for the documentary you won.
That's a different one.
So which film are you talking about
so
now?
we're talking about a different documentary, and it's also part of my dream. I think sometimes we need to learn the art of manifesting. I think, Marcus, if you can allow, I can share a story about the power of manifesting.
Yes.
I've always wanted to see my film in a big, full theater.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually happened. And it's in my socials. I'm in a suit, and I was in the back seat.
You're definitely sharing this content. Tell me,
and
how
I
was
happened
that?
to just watch the film that we had sat down to script everything from ground up, and it was being shown live, and there were videos taken, and probably I think it reached the media, specifically NTV, and it was once in a lifetime experience to be able to see your work on such
Being
a scale.
acknowledged.
Yeah, and this goes down to now in the videography side. There's one guy I used to see in the industry with a very big rig. This, I think, let me just mention him. That's the director Andere.
And director, but
Yeah.
I think, okay, continue with your line
Yeah.
of thought. Yeah, we've seen him.
And I was like, how come I need to reach a point whereby I can be able to carry this
True.
or probably use this rig to probably shoot something. And it took 3 years, but I got there.
What? How? Tell us about
Yeah,
that.
so I was fortunate enough to now, when I joined Boxcraft, I was fortunate enough now to be probably one of the best B-roll takers in all aspects. Now,
Yeah, true. I've been with you on set, and we are on a roll. It's normally showtime.
Yes.
You never leave the gimbal. You're always on it. But on that note, even these gloves, by the way, you're seeing I'm wearing them. They're anti-static. They're supposed to help you with the grip. This guy, even Andere, by the any trace. Yeah, for those grips of yours. Yeah, I was on set with Rodney. We were doing coverage.
Yeah.
We're coming to the last bit of the session, so I'm about to just link up how we met also, and then as we transition to you giving guys how they could work with you. So when we linked up, I was trying to get a job with Boxcraft. So I was shortlisted and I got a probation period. Come, let's test drive, because we're in the trade of offering services.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a product. I can't sell you so you must do some work. So we went there, and I was given camera one, and Rodney, camera one is the simplest camera. It's the wide. They don't expect you to do a lot. So make sure it's focused and clear, and just shoot. Rodney had the gimbal. Not just a gimbal. Rodney I know I'm even making it sound like just a gimbal. He had a whole rig there, and he was the one running with the B-rolls, not from the audience to the front. And I just enjoyed, first of all, when we entered the setup, and you still switched up with the director. Afterwards, you're directing and switching up. So I really felt like, this is really production. This is live streaming. We're still streaming it live. Tunaweza fanyia hata isho speed your live stream yake. That time you guys would have done it, apart from our challenge na Wi-Fi. Yeah. So Rodney, working with you was really fun also. I know you already told me my feedback, but I don't know, maybe you can tell them how he's working with me. But for someone to work with you, Rodney, now that I don't know where you are now or what you're doing, but as you wind up, what are you up to now? And how would someone be able to hire or get your expertise? How do they go about it?
So for you to work with me now, you can just reach out in my IG. I think that's the easiest. If you want it to be professional in that level, there's LinkedIn, Rodney Angatia. I think you can, if you search that, you can be able to get it in multiple accounts. My site has been down, but we are coming back soon. That is Zian Films. And right now I'm into a lot to do with, I think, AI. I know it's a common word that's being used right now. Yeah. But I think some of the works I've been doing, there's an account called Vudantra in TikTok. People can be able to check it out. But also in my personal account, you can be able to see how I'm merging real-life video with probably AI to that degree. Because I think I'm transitioning more from being a production guy to being more of a brand content creation strategy guy, because I'm thinking of, okay, what are the better ways on how, or tools we can be able to merge to help production guys do their thing.
Okay, so what would someone have to bring to the table? Just he reach you out? Like, if you want to work together, what should I bring? What should I expect from you also? I'm approaching you as a client.
Yeah.
What should I come with? What should we expect?
I think for us to have a talk, one of the things is you need to be delusional to some extent, and I mean it in a good way. You need to share an idea that can freak me out. And with this, I can be able to now rally up the army that I have with people like Marcus here. I'm going to share our experience in a few and see probably how we can be able to help you in that level, to that extent, because we are still very young into the industry. And thanks this, we have to also congratulate the people who've been in the industry who mentored us to this point. So we'll probably say thank you to that.
Salute.
So just about Marcus here. So when we met with Marcus, it was more of outdoor rather than editing per se. But this guy is one of the quickest people to do anything. And it also goes in line with one of my principles of, time is the new currency.
Yes.
Speed. Yeah, anything to do with speed, time. So this guy just does his things so fast, and he will still come and help you, but he will still find time to rest. So I think that also made people question on how long they're taking to do certain tasks. And I think that's one thing that you left the team with about time management. And I will probably say it's a thing people are still struggling to till today. It's not something easy to hack. Yeah, so for you to be on that level, and also to think of some crazy reels out of the blues, you qualify as a very creative person. Yeah.
I thank you so much for the time. A couple of tips to Mapatia hapo. I like to add manifesting pia, because that's very important, because if you didn't see it in your head, you can't animate it, you can't make those motion design. If you can't even see the whole motion is going to start, it's going to end. If you don't dream big also, it will be tough for you to see the vision that the director or anyone else needs to see. As we close and wind up our last tip, thank you so much, Rodney, for honoring the invite. I'd like you to just give the audience your social handles, because umesema wakati after LinkedIn na wakati after IG. Najua mimi nakujua ka Rodney Maddox, lakini hakujui. Hebu ambao atakupata wapi?
Before I end,
yes.
I think this was more of a know-how when it comes to post-production. I know we didn't delve into technicality that people would have wanted. Probably Marcus here should think of how we can be able to have a machine and just go edit by edit when it comes to the different ways and how we can be able to create our content.
Insert a bulb up here.
Yeah, and also, we see how we can be able to hit these milestones.
I like
because
that idea.
I think my last AI video that I did gathered over 300 and something K. We're heading over to 400 K
good
views.
Numbers.
Yeah, but if you're looking for me when it comes to social media, that's Rodney Maddox on IG. That's ZN Lifestyle on YouTube, and that's Rodney Ngatia Videographer on LinkedIn. Cheers.
Thank you so much, guys. And if you've watched till this far, my final tip will be the edit suite is not where you come to fix problems. This is where the story is carried. This is where the story is carried and driven. Thank you so much, Rodney, for tuning in and joining in into the conversation. I've been your host. I go by the groovy Uncle Marcus. Pasa, 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 pesa. Till next time.